Salad is your friend. Today I'm going to show you how to make very simple evening meals on the Seignalet diet. Okay, I'm nearly 70, so do you want to look like this at 70? Or do you want to look like this? Or do you want to look like this? If you want to look like this, subscribe to my channel and I'll show you how. Okay, Dr. Seignalet was a French professor of medicine who put 91 chronic diseases into remission with a diet. Okay, he died in 2002, unfortunately, but I will be updating all Seignalet's findings on my website. Okay, for example, although he put all these diseases into remission, he was not aware that all chronic diseases, vitamin D deficiency is implicated. So I have 10 videos about vitamin D and the sun and tanning booths, and I tell you the truth about tanning. Anyway, I'm digressing here, but so let's have a look at Dr. Seignalet's tables, and we'll run them now while I'm talking. I'm boiling some eggs here. He thought that we should go back to what our cavemen ancestors were eating, and they were eating the same diet for tens of thousands of years. So, and we evolved to eat what our cavemen ancestors were eating. Only in the Paleolithic times, which were 10,000 years ago in the Middle East, and only 5,000 years ago in Europe. So 5,000 years in terms of evolution is the blink of an eye. So now the difference between the Seignalet diet and the paleo diet, on the paleo diet also thinks we should go back to, let me take my eggs out. Boil your eggs for exactly 5 minutes. We want everything, the idea of the Seignalet diet is to eat as much as possible raw and to avoid cooking as much as possible. If you do, cooking's allowed as long as it's at low temperature and not for prolonged periods. Okay, these eggs have been cooked for 5 minutes exactly, so they should be soft. Okay, so we're going to eat them nearly raw. Cooking, this one's a little bit too raw. Okay, I'm just going to put them back in the pan a minute. I set my alarm for I set my alarm for 5 minutes and it hasn't gone off. Okay, that's okay. So, you want to cook them for exactly 5 minutes. And then put them in cold water to stop, so they stop cooking. And you can do what I did on the first one. If they still look a bit too raw, put them back in the pan. Okay. So we'll put this in here. So yes, I was saying, salads are your friend. This is what our cavemen this is perfect Paleolithic diet. Our cavemen ancestors would have been eating foliage all day long, and and they would, according to Dr. Seignalet, they would have been eating raw. There's good evidence for this. If you go to my website, I've done a translation of cooking and its problems. Let me show you how I'm. Dr. Seignalet's chapter, Cooking and Its Problems. So, yes, he says the Inuit eat entirely raw, and they're very healthy. You can eat eggs raw, but you eat the yolk, not the white of the egg. The white of the egg is not digested properly if it's raw. Okay, the yolk is, you can digest the yolk raw, but not the white. Okay, so this is about right. So Seignalet says eggs are okay as long as they're, just very soft boiled, which is what we're doing. So exactly 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to show you, salads are your friend. You can make an evening meal really in minutes, in about 3 or 4 minutes. Sometimes this will probably take about 5 minutes, but so there we are. Yes, I'm going to make French dressing. I'm going to show you how to make French dressing. Absolutely so simple to make French dressing. But you don't even have to make French dressing. You can have your salad just with some fish sauce. Yeah, fish sauce. Thai fish sauce. And some oil, a really nice oil like flaxseed oil. And yeah, the salad like this sort of mixed leaf salad is ideal for French dressing. But if you've got something like this, the butterhead salad, which is very subtle leaves, that goes well with a good oil. Just a good oil, flaxseed oil, or hemp seed oil, chestnut oil. There are loads of different omega-3 oils, all delicious. Make sure your oils are always virgin cold pressed. Must be virgin cold pressed on the Seignalet diet. We don't. If it's refined, it's been refined with a solvent, and we definitely don't want that. Okay, so we're going to put some. Now, what I do with the runny egg yolk, when you make the French dressing and you mix it in, the egg yolk can run into the dressing, and it's a bit messy. So what I do is, these are yeast flakes, yeah? Fantastic for your health, full of vitamin B. All the different vitamin B. B12, so this is high in folic acid, high in zinc, high in B12, high in protein, high in fiber. Okay, so the salads, folic acid, of course, as well. So put that out of the way. Now we want to make our French dressing, and now I haven't got any bowls to make the French dressing, so let me tip this into here. Yes, our cavemen ancestors would have been. This is a typical. This is almost exactly what they would have been eating. Of course, they wouldn't have been making French dressing and they wouldn't have had yeast flakes. But apart from that, you know, this is exactly what they would have been eating. So, and it's a delicious way of, you know, it's a fantastic way of making an evening meal. It's so quick, so easy. So yeah, I've made salad with boiled, soft boiled egg. A bit of shell here. Let me get rid of that shell. But you could make salad with, you could have it with, for example, bresaola, which is a dried beef from Italy. So they would, you know, they dry in the 19th century. They would have been drying the beef to keep it through the winter. Yeah, so they had something to eat in the winter, and then you slice it when you're, you know, you cut slices off when you're ready to eat it. You can eat, on the Seignalet diet, you can eat charcuterie as long as it's raw, no cooked charcuterie. So, and put it in the freezer for at least 10 days to kill any potential parasites. In theory, the fact of the fact of curing the meat will kill any parasites, but it's not guaranteed. Sometimes, you know, you can still, the parasites can still survive. So let me find my teaspoon. So we're going to use 1 teaspoonful. This is for one person, yeah? 1 teaspoonful of mustard. Sometimes I put a bit more in personally, but that's, you know, this will make very good French dressing. This is a classic French dressing. Now I'm going to use Thai fish sauce instead of salt. If you use salt, use sea salt or rock salt, not table salt. But if you don't eat table salt, now the thing is with table salt, it's fortified with iodine, okay? And if they didn't do that, the population would all have goiters, would all have swelling on your neck. Yeah, and that's the thyroid swelling. That's called a goiter, and that's from a deficiency of iodine. So, you know, iodine has been added to table salt for decades. So if you don't eat table salt, you must supplement with Lugol's iodine, which I recommend. We don't get enough iodine anyway. I recommend 4 or 5 drops of iodine in a little bit of water. That's what I do every day. Okay, so we've got my 1 tablespoonful of apple cider vinegar and 2 tablespoonfuls of extra virgin olive oil. If you're doing this by eye, I mustn't do that. I must show you how to do it, yeah, properly. So, yeah, 2 tablespoonfuls of virgin olive oil. Yeah, it must be virgin olive oil, no other kind. Okay. And 2 tablespoonfuls. Okay. 1 nice tablespoonfuls of vinegar. And whisk that all up. The mustard is an emulsifying agent, so we get an emulsion, yeah? Oh yeah, we need, we're going to put some avocado in. So with your salad, you can have all sorts of things. You can have, try my 2-minute steak tartare. There's a YouTube video. A word about avocados. If there are any brown bits, don't eat them, cut them out. Because brown bits are, there's lots of oil in avocado when it's raw, when it's ripe. It's an omega-3 oil, very, very healthy, very good for you. but the brown bits are where the oil has gone rancid. Okay, not only that, but it's probably gone a bit mouldy as well, so cut out any brown bits. This is nice, just nice, this avocado. Could be a little bit riper, but it's fine. So it should be nice and buttery, yeah? A name for avocado is midshipman's butter. So sailors in times gone past would have used avocado as butter, yeah? So there we go, that's our salad. So mix the French dressing in. Mix it all up. And that is a very satisfying meal. You won't need anything else. Yes, your salads, you can eat them every evening. And that's the principles of eating just protein, just a protein meal with no carbohydrate, yeah? That's food combining. And Seignalet says that we're all sedentary now, and we only need to eat animal protein once a day because we're sedentary. So that goes very well with food combining. I ate a food combining diet for about 15 years, food combining and high raw, and I incorporated the Seignalet diet about 5 years ago. And all I did to make it, to make sure I was doing the Seignalet diet, it's just all I had to do was eliminate dairy and wheat, and the grains that Seignalet bans. But apart from that, I was already practically doing the Seignalet diet. Okay, so there's our evening meal. So you could have salad, as I said, you could have it just sprinkle some Thai fish sauce and a good oil. Just as good, yeah. Doesn't have to be French dressing every time. And you can have it with nuts, for example, with some nuts, or with some bresaola, or steak tartare, or some shrimps. You can buy them already boiled. Not shrimps, I mean prawns, yeah. Prawns. Now, what is really healthy is to get some good salmon, yeah, some frozen salmon, and to eat it raw, flake it, okay? If you're not used to eating raw fish, some people gag at the idea, okay? But you can mix it in with a salad like this. You hardly notice it's in there, and that's really good for your health. I mean, eating it raw is much healthier than eating it cooked. So, okay, what else could you eat? So you could have some white fish, some cod. Cod you probably want to cook it, not so good raw. Just steam it, and make some miso sauce. Make some sauce with miso, something like that. So you get the idea. You can have something different every night. Okay, so I'm going to eat my meal now. And so I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see my other recipes. Now, these are very basic recipes, which this is what I eat all the time, yeah, just plain salad. But I'm going to do some fancy stuff. I've got a French book, which Dr. Seignalet recommended, with raw, it's all raw food. I think there's 500 recipes, and it's written by a French chef. So really delicious meals, but take a little bit more preparation, yeah, probably about, quarter of an hour or 20 minutes preparation. Okay, so I'm going to have my evening meal now. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Delicious.